Picture this. You're sitting at your desk and your manager drops a massive data set on you. They say, please prepare an insightful dashboard for our management meeting next week. You open the file and it looks like chaos. Thousands of rows, dozens of columns, net sales, cost, customer visits, basket size, NPS, and you're sitting there thinking, how do I even begin? Don't worry. In this tutorial, I will show you how to turn that messy data set into a professional dashboard in Power BI. And here's the secret. You don't have to figure it out alone. You can ask ChatGPT for help and it will guide you on what KPIs to use, what visuals to build, and how to structure everything. By the end, you have a clean 2-page dashboard with KPIs, cost analysis, sales trends, and a detailed drill down page ready to impress management. The crucial first step isn't to immediately dive into Power BI's visual canvas. Instead, the foundation of an effective dashboard lies in a well-thought-out plan. This is where ChatGPT becomes an invaluable strategic partner. By providing a concise summary of your dataset, you can elicit a structured plan for your dashboard. For instance, you might prompt ChatGPT with the following. I have a retail dataset with fields like net sales, operating cost, customer visits, basket size, NPS, and store category. Please suggest visuals, KPIs, and a layout for an insightful management dashboard. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to my dataset and just copy a part of it so I have it pasted on ChatGPT. That would make ChatGPT's analysis better. Now I will go ahead and press enter. ChatGPT has now generated a comprehensive set of recommendations, such as KPI cards for at-a-glance metrics like total net sales, total profit and profit percentage, operating cost percentage of sales, etc. It's also giving us visuals for insights, sales and profitability. It's told us what visual to use for that, clustered column plus line chart. Also for customer metrics, it's asked us to use a line chart as well. Regional and store performance, revenue and margin ranges. It's also giving us a recommendation of the dashboard layout. So this AI-generated blueprint provides a clear and logical starting point, transforming a daunting task into a manageable series of steps. With our strategic roadmap in hand, we move to the most critical technical phase. Before we even think about aesthetics or visuals, we must ensure our data is clean, accurate, and reliable. This is the bedrock of your dashboard. Any errors here will compromise every single visual you create. This is where Power Query, Power BI's integrated data transformation tool, comes into play. First, load your data into Power BI. I will provide a copy of this for your use in the description. So I'll select the sheets in the data and click Transform Data to open Power Query Editor. This dataset includes about 7,200 rows with details like sales, cost, profit, customer visits, basket size, NPS, and also pre-bucketed fields such as margin range, unit sold range, and revenue performance. These fields will be very useful later when we build the detailed dashboard. In the left-hand side pane, right-click on your table and select Reference. Have this new query renamed to Retail Staging. What does this do? This creates a new query that points to your original query. And why is this important? It's a non-destructive workflow. Your original query remains an untouched backup of raw data. All your cleaning steps will be applied to the retail staging, which you can edit or even discard without having to reload the source data. Next, look at the icon in each column header, e.g. 1, 2, 3, ABC, and the calendar icon. What do you need to do? Click the icon on each column to select the correct type. We want a year, store ID, and units sold to be whole number, which is what we currently have. So whole number for year, yes. Whole number for store ID, and whole number for units sold. The net sales column, the cost column, and basket size column should be decimal number. We have our net sales column as decimal number. I'm going to make sure the cost column is also set as decimal number. It's currently set as whole number. So let's have all that's changed to decimal. And the month, region, and channel should be text. So ABC represents text. Why is it important? This is fundamental. Power BI cannot perform calculations on a number stored as text, nor can it create a time trend from a date stored as text. Correct data types are the prerequisites for all analysis. Next, let's clean text columns. Select all text columns. I have them all selected, I believe. On the Transform tab, go to Format and select Trim. Then do it again and select Clean. Why did we do that? Trim removes leading and trailing white space, while Clean removes non-printable characters often copied from other systems. Why is it important? New York here look the same to you, but are different values to a computer. This step ensures that your slicers, filters, and chart group categorizes correctly without splitting them due to hidden characters. For numeric column, let's have all of them selected. So click on the first column, hold down the Control key on your keyboard to have the other ones selected. Now I've got all the columns with numbers selected. Go back to the Transform tab, replace values, and replace null with 0. We need to do this step for the text column as well. So have them all selected. All my text columns are duly selected. Go to the Transform tab again, replace values, and replace null with unknown. What this does, it eliminates empty values that can cause errors in calculations or appear as unsightly blanks in your visuals. Why is it important? Replacing nulls with 0 in sales data ensures your totals are accurate. Replacing nulls in a category column with unknown allows you to filter for and analyze data that is missing this information. Now, let's remove duplicates. Select the key columns that should make a row unique, e.g. the year column, the month column, store ID, and product category. Go to the Home tab, remove rows, then remove duplicates. What does it do? It removes entire rows that are exact repeats based on the columns you selected. And why is it important? Duplicate rows are a common issue that can artificially inflate your totals, e.g. sales and cost, leading to incorrect reporting. This ensures every record is unique. Now, let's create a proper date column. Power BI's time intelligence features require a true date column. How do we do this? Go to Add Column, Custom Column. What we need to have is a separate column for year, the month number, and the month text. Name the custom column month number and use this formula. This would convert the month text like Jan, Feb to 1 or 2. Click OK. I'm going to have that dragged to where we have the month text. Now let's add another custom column. We're going to have this named dates. Here's the formula we're going to use. This would combine the year and the new month number into a valid date. Click OK and let's see what we get. This is the new column we have created. A valid date showing the combined year and new month number. Let's also have this moved to where the other date columns are. Now let's add a final custom column named month year. The formula for that is this. What is this going to do? This is going to create a user-friendly label like Jan 2025. So click OK. And here's what we have. We've got Jan 2023, Feb 2023, and so on. I would also have this moved over to where we have the other date columns. Now, why is this important? This is the only way to perform reliable time-based analysis like trends, period-over-period comparisons, and more. Next, let's filter out bad rows. Use the filter drop-down on column headers to remove nonsensical data. How do you do that? For example, filter unit price to be greater than 0. Filter net sales to exclude negative values unless they represent refunds. And ensure percentages are within logical bounds. Why is this important? This is a final quality check to remove outliers or erroneous data points that could skew your analysis. Next, reshape cost for donut charts. That is on pivot. If your costs are in separate columns, like rent, staff cost, marketing, logistics, etc., they need to be reshaped for many visuals. How do you do this? Right-click staging data and reference it to create a new query. We'll have that named to retail cost breakdown. In this new query, select the identifier columns like date and all the cost columns like rent, staff cost, marketing, logistics, utilities, operating cost, and cost of goods sold. Go to the Transform tab and click on Pivot Columns. Rename the new columns to Cost Category and Cost Amount. Why is this powerful? This transforms a wide table into a long one. Instead of many cost columns, you now have one category column and one value column, which is the ideal structure for donut charts, bar charts, and slicers based on cost type. With all the steps complete, go to the Home tab and click Close and Apply. Your clean data is now loaded. The final preparation steps happen in the main Power BI window. We're going to create a calendar table. This is a best practice cornerstone of any serious Power BI report. How do we do this? Go to the Modeling tab, New Table, have this DAX formula pasted, and have it committed. We have the new calendar table created. Then we're going to use the new column button to add columns for year, month number, month year, quarter, and the month sort column. How do we do that? With your calendar table selected, click the option to create a new column under the Modeling tab. And in the formula bar, I will have this DAX expression pasted to create the year column. Have that committed. Next, let's create the month number column, still under the Modeling tab. Make sure your calendar table is still selected. Still under the Modeling tab, the option to have a new column created. And I'll have this DAX expression pasted to create the month number column. We're going to move on to creating the month year column. So have your calendar table selected, Modeling tab, option to have a new column created. Now have this expression pasted for month year. Quickly, we are also going to create the column for quarter. And here's the DAX expression for that. And finally, let's create a column for month sort. And here's the DAX expression for that. This is to ensure correct chronological sorting. The final thing we need to do now is to apply the correct sort order. Select the month year column in your calendar table. On the ribbon, click Column Tools, Sort by Column, and choose Month Sort. With that, when you choose month year in your charts, it will display in the right order, like Jan, Feb, etc., not April, August, December. So why is this whole thing essential? A dedicated calendar table is the engine for all-time intelligence in DAX. It allows you to create measures like year to date, same period last year, and ensures all your time-based visuals are consistent. Now let's create relationships. Go to the module view. Drag the date field in your new calendar table into the date field in your retail staging table. So we've got the two columns selected on both tables. What does this do? It links your calendar table to your date table. And why is this important? This connection allows you to use the calendar table to filter or slice your data. For example, selecting Q2 in a slicer from the calendar table will now correctly filter the sales data in the retail staging table. You can see the connection right here. The date column on both tables are connected as expected. Now going back to the reports view, we're going to create centralized measures. Instead of using raw data fields in our visuals, it's best practice to create explicit measures. How do we do that? Under the Modeling tab, select the option to write a DAX expression that calculates a value from your data. So we need to create measures for total net sales, total operating cost, gross profit percentage, total customer visits, and average basket size. Starting with total net sales. Here's the measure we're going to use to calculate that. I'll have that committed quickly and move on to the next one. So we have that created already and it's listed here. The next measure is going to be our total operating cost, which will be created using this measure. Total operating cost equals sum of the operating profit column in the retail staging table. So have that committed. And then we move on to creating the gross profit percentage measure, which will be created using this formula. Gross profit percentage equals the division of the sum of profit column from the retail staging table by the sum of the net sales column from the same retail staging table. Have that committed, and we have it said here. Moving on to the total customer visits. The total customer visits is calculated by summing the customer visits column from the retail staging table. It's simple and straightforward. So have that committed, and we have that listed as well. And lastly, we're going to create the average basket size measure using this formula. Average basket size equals the average of the basket size column in a retail staging table. Now, have that committed. So we're getting this error saying basket size in table retail staging cannot be found or may not be used in this expression. Let's find out why that is. Why can we not find the basket size column? We're supposed to have, so what we have is the average basket size column. We already have it, but because we don't want to use the direct fields from our table in creating our visuals, we're going to have that created again. So I will have AVG added to it to have it corrected. And let's have it committed to see if it works. Yeah, so we have that measure created for us. Now, why is this essential? Measures are reusable, they are reliable and centrally located. If, for instance, the definition of net sales ever changes, you only have to update the total net sales measure in one place, and every visual using it will update automatically. With our data now cleaned, modeled, and enhanced with robust measures, we are finally ready to design and build a dashboard. We are now going to move on to designing a professional backdrop in PowerPoint. Now that our data is clean and reliable, we can focus on the visual presentation. A well-organized dashboard enhances user experience and comprehension. So creating a custom background in PowerPoint can elevate the aesthetic of your final product. I had created this background earlier. I decided to go for a premium emerald and charcoal theme. So I started off by drawing a rectangle that covers the entire background. Applied a gradient fill, transitioning from a dark charcoal and a deep emerald green. I inserted rounded rectangles to serve as placeholders for the charts. Used PowerPoint alignment tools to ensure a neat and organized layout. And incorporated a soft shadow effect to make the cards appear as if they are floating, adding a sense of depth and professionalism. Now, you don't need to build this yourself. I'll provide this PowerPoint template so you can export it as PNG and drop it directly into Power BI. But it's good that you understand the logic, because that's how you can always create custom layouts for different dashboards. You'll be able to see all the elements I used here. So just play around with this, play around with the colors, and apply it however you want in creating a different dashboard. Now, how do you save this as PNG? You're going to need to have all the elements on the board selected by clicking Ctrl All on your keyboard. Right-click, Group, and have it grouped as one. Right-click again and Save as Picture. I'm going to have it saved in my download so it's easy to get to. Let's go to see what we saved. Yeah, so this is how we want it. It's really important that you have all the elements selected, so you have a good save. For instance, if you don't have all the elements selected and grouped, and you just go ahead to save as picture, you're not going to get the right result. Let's save this to see what we get if you don't do the right thing. So going to my downloads, let's open picture 4 to see what it gives us. So you see, this is what you're going to get, and that's what you want. To get the right output, you need to make sure that you have all the elements selected by clicking Ctrl Alt, right click, group, and then save as picture. That's how you're going to get a good export. This image will serve as the canvas for your Power BI dashboard. Now, with your clean data loaded and background image ready, it's time to bring your dashboard to life in Power BI. We're going to be importing the background. On a blank Power BI canvas, go to the Format pane. Under Canvas Background, select Image and upload the PNG file you created. Since we're going to start with the first page, so let's select the first background page. It's not showing now, and that's because the transparency has been set to 100%. To have it shown, you need to have the transparency dragged all the way down to 0 and have the image fit set to fit. And there you have it. You've got the page you want. Let's have the second page created and bring in the second designed background. Have transparency dragged down to 0 and the image fit set to fit or fill. So we've got the designed background for page 1, we've got the one for page 2. Now, let's populate the dashboard with visuals. From the build pane, select the card visual. I'm going to have that placed on the first top row placeholder. Have the size adjusted like so, and drag the total cost field into it, the calculated one. So that's the total operating cost. Let's quickly have this formatted. With the card still selected, go to the Format pane, expand the option for callouts value. Change the font color to this. It's called the X code FFD166. That would make it gold. Have the font size reduced to maybe 28. Make it bold. And then scroll down to category label. Have it expanded. We want to make the font color for that white. Make it bold as well and leave the font size to 12. Now, to make it all revealing against the dashboard background, you're going to scroll back up to size and style, have it expanded, scroll down to background and have it turned off. So that way you can see all your figures. And you can easily have the card resized to make room for the other cards we're going to be creating. Still under size and style, scroll down to the option for padding. Have it expanded, and let's adjust the top padding, have it reduced to move the values up a bit so it sits in properly in the card. Now we need 4 other cards for net sales, gross profit percentage, customer visits, and average basket size. To make things fast, I'm simply going to have this card duplicated multiple times by simply copying and pasting. So we need 4 other ones. We've got the second extra one, the third one, and the last card. For the second one, we're going to have the current field replaced with the total net sales field. If you're getting this error, the sum function cannot work with values of type string. It means we are trying to add a text field. We're going to have this fixed in Power Query. So right-click on your table, Edit Query. We're going to have this fixed in Power Query by having net sales, profit, and operating cost converted to decimals. Currently, we have these data types set to it. We need to have the data type changed to decimal number. I'm going to scroll down and do the same for the operating cost. Yes, we have the operating cost already set to decimal. Now, let's close and apply. We've been able to fix the error with that. One thing I'm going to do is to have the category label name renamed, so we have enough space. So let's have the total removed from the first card. I'm going to have total removed and have just operating cost present. I'll do the same for the second card. So let's have total removed and have just net sales present. Now for the third card, what do we want to have in there? Gross profit percentage. So let's have the current field removed and we'll have that replaced with the gross profit percentage, which is right here. We're getting an error for that as well. So let's quickly go back to Power Query Editor and have the field that was used to calculate the gross profit percentage converted to decimal. And what field was that? That's our profit. So we're going to have all of this changed to decimals, decimal data type. So we don't have to keep getting that error and have to keep coming back here to fix the data type. I will leave this as a percentage. Replace. Yep. What else do we have? I'm going to make this a decimal. Make this a decimal as well. I'm just going to make everything changed to decimal. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's close and apply so the changes are reflected. Yeah, so we've got the right figure appearing for our gross profit percentage. The fourth card would be replaced with customer visits. So let's have total operating cost removed and we have that replaced with total customer visits. Where do we have that? This is that right here. So let's have that selected. And then the last card, we need to have the current field replaced with average basket size, which is right here. Now select all 5 cards by pressing down the Control key on your keyboard. Go to the Format tab, Align, and let's have it distributed horizontally. That would spread out the cards and make good use of the space available. So what's the purpose of these cards? These cards display the most critical high-level business numbers. They serve as an executive summary, providing an immediate answer to the question, how are we performing overall? Now for the second row, that's this side, we're going to add 3 smaller cards for net sales, gross sales, and returns. It's going to be the same formatting, so I'm simply going to just copy this and have it pasted down below for use. But it's going to be a way smaller card. So we're going to have the current field for that replaced with the calculated net sales figure. Let's have total also removed from there. So double click on that and have the word total removed. I'll have the values reduced a bit because it's a smaller card. We don't need it big. So scroll down to call out value and have the font size further reduced. So maybe 20. I will have it adjusted. Now have that duplicated by simply copying and pasting for the other card. And for that, the field we need is the gross sales. Where do we have the gross sales? It's right here. I'm going to have the sum of gross sales removed from that as well. So double click on that and remove the sum of. And finally, for the third small card, copy and paste and have the current field replaced with returns, which is right here. And again, we're going to have the sum of removed from the field name to make it neater. Now let's have all of these 3 small cards selected and have it again horizontally distributed. What's the purpose of these small cards? They provide a quick breakdown of the main sales KPI. By showing gross sales and returns separately, it gives immediate context to the net sales figures, highlighting the impact of returned products. On the left-hand side of the dashboard, we had 3 donut charts. The first one would be to show the breakdown of operating costs, that is the rent, staff, utilities, marketing and logistics. So for the legend, I'm going to drag the cost category from the retail cost breakdown. And for the values field, I'm going to drag in cost amount. To format this, I'm going to start off with removing the background of the visual. So under size and style, let's have the background turned off. Have the detail label turned off. Turn off the title as well. This has a lot of cost listed. We're not interested in seeing everything. We want just the top 3. So let's go to the filter pane and have that set to top 3 as against seeing all. So under cost category, we want to have the filter type changed from basic filtering to top N. What's the number? It's 3, as we want to see just the top 3. And we want to have that filtered by the value cost amount. Then apply filter. So the filtering has been brought down to the top 3. Now I'm going to quickly have the slicers formatted to suit the theme of the dashboard. And that will be done under the format pane. Expand the option for slicers and let's have the colors set to fit the background. Starting with the cost of goods sold, we're going to have that set to this color. We move on to the next one and have it set to this. And then the last one is the operating cost. We want to give that a more lighter shade of green. So let's see what we can get here. Yeah. We're going to have the text color of the legend changed to white. Then scroll down to spacing. I'll have that expanded. And let's have the spacing increased to 70. Or maybe 75. Yeah, so that's the way I want it. So this visual is going to show the management what's eating up the cost. Have this adjusted a bit more to create space for the other ones. Seeing dates inside the cost category means we unpivot the wrong columns. Let's go back to the Power Query editor to fix that. I'll remove the unpivot step by clicking this X button and every other related steps. Select only the 5 cost columns, which is the rent, staff cost, marketing, logistics, and utilities. Right-click and choose on pivot columns. Then I rename the attribute to cost category. Need to correct the spelling of category here. It's missing a he. And have the value renamed to cost amount. Make sure the cost amount is set to the decimal data type and close and apply. Now, my donut uses the legend cost category and values cost amount exactly as intended. I'll just quickly have the colors of the slicers formatted again to suit the dashboard. Starting with the staff cost. Let's give that back the earlier color, which was this one. We change the rent cost to this and have the marketing cost changed to this. Now, this cost is showing what's eating up the operating cost. I'm going to have this duplicated by simply copying and pasting to create the second donut chart. For that, we need to have the current legend field replaced with channel. We have a channel right here. And have the values field replaced with total net sales, which is right here. We want to apply the same formatting as the first donut chart. So under the format pane, expand the options for slicer and let's have it formatted correctly. For the online, I'll go with this. Or let's go with the lighter shade. Now, what is this donut chart telling us? This tells management how much revenue is coming from each channel. Now, let's create the third donut chart. And for that, we're going to have the legend field replaced with product category and leave the values field as net sales. We're going to also have that filtered to top 3. So as we don't need to have all the product categories showing. So expand the filter pane, have the filter for product category expanded, and let's have selected just 3 product categories. I'll also have this formatted to match with the other visuals. So under the filter pane, expand the options for slicers. We'll start with books. We're going to have the color changed to this. Moving on next to clothing, we'll give it this shade, and then lastly, beauty. Now have the 3 donut charts selected, and let's have that distributed vertically. So this last donut chart highlights which product categories are driving sales. Is it the books? Is it clothing or beauty? The next thing to do is to add a slicer here for the month. So from the visualization pane, I'm going to add slicer. So let's add a button slicer to the canvas and add the field for month. Quickly have that formatted to match the theme of the dashboard. So right under the format pane, expand the option for layout and have the max row shown reduced to 1. I'm going to have the title toggled off because we can tell from a glance that the slicer is for months. Scroll down to buttons, have that expanded, and let's have the shape changed to a rounded rectangle. We can work on the corners like so. Push it all the way down. Yeah, I think I like that. We don't want it all too rounded. Now we need to turn off the background, which can be done here. So turn off the fill and scroll up to size and style to turn the background off. We want the callout value to be changed to white. So we're going to scroll all the way down to callout values. Have that expanded. Let's have that changed to white. We want to have that centrally aligned, and then I will go ahead to adjust further. And I think we should have it further adjusted to show 4 columns. So let's go back to the format pane with the slicer still selected and scroll all the way down to the columns shown. I will have that increased to 4. Yeah. So if you want to have any other month selected that is not shown, all you have to do is scroll down and find the month. Now I'm going to give this section a header. So let's go to the Insert tab to have a text box inserted. Have that adjusted like so, and type in Business Cost Insights as the header. I'm going to have the font size increased, have the font changed to Sego UI bold. Let's have that reduced some more. Make it 22 if we can, or just leave it as it is. Now I'm going to have the background of that turned off and make the font color white. For more details, I'm going to add a subheader. So have this duplicated by simply copying and pasting. Bring that down, and let's have the font size further reduced because it's a subheader, so we don't want it to. And I'm going to have the font color changed to gray. We want to give that the subheader operating cost, channel share, and product share. So let's have the font color changed again. So a light gray. I could go ahead and have this reduced some more because it's not the main title, isn't it? This side of the dashboard is looking good already. Together, the three donut charts gives a balanced snapshot. How money flows out, that is the cost. How money flows in, the revenue by channel, and what's selling best, the categories. This way, at a glance, management can see where money is going out and where money is coming in. Now, for the center charts, I'm going to add a clustered column chart. Have that dragged here to sit properly. We're going to set region as the x-axis. And maybe you want to compare the sales performance across the region. So let's pick on net sales, the net sales field, and maybe also by profit. So we're going to have profits also dragged there. I'm going to quickly have this formatted. So let's have the format pane expanded. Starting with the title, let's have the title edited by removing the sum of. So we want to leave it as net sales and profit by region. So take off the sum of as well from the other side. Press enter. I'll have the font color changed to white. It's not going to show now, but the background will be turned off, so everything will be revealing. And we'll probably want to make it bold. Now let's scroll down to the legend. We want legend present, but we don't want the title, so let's have that toggled off. And then I'll just have the background turned off so we see exactly what we are doing. Okay, we want to scroll down and have the x-axis expanded. Let's have the fonts changed to white, make it bold, and then the title. Do we have the title on? Do we need to have the title on? I don't think so. So I'll have that turned off. Expand the option for y-axis, have the values as well changed so the font color white, make it bold, and then I'm going to have the title turned off as well. Now let's work on the columns. I'll have that expanded, and for the net sales, we want to give that the same gold color we have, and we give the other one the sum of profits, we give it this color. And we can then go ahead and have this adjusted like so. We need to also make text of the legend white. So we need to scroll down to where we have legend. We leave it toggled on, but we want to have the font color. Legend is what we need to find, so expand the option for legend, expand the option for text, and let's make that white as well. I'll probably make it bold. So this visual compares sales performance and the net profit across different geographical areas. It makes it easy to identify top performing regions and those that may be underperforming, answering which markets are the strongest. Now, let's move on to the bottom center. I'm going to add another clustered column chart to that section. I'll use month for the axis. So drag the month field and have that dropped in the x-axis. And both net sales and returns for the values, that is the y-axis. We have our returns right here. To format this, I will start by having the background turned off. So expand the option for size and style and turn off the background. Scroll down to title and let's have the title adjusted to remove the sum of. So what do we have? Net sales and returns by month. We have the text color changed to white and make it bold. Now we scroll down to legend or the x-axis, that's the next in line. Have the font color changed to white, make it bold, and let's see what happens if we have the font size reduced here. So because we want to have all the figures, all the values shown, you can try to reduce it further. Yeah, it is the least we can do. You have the title turned off. Scroll down to the y-axis, have the values expanded and change the font color to white. Make it bold. And we also want to have the title toggled off. We don't need it. And then we've got the legend. We want it toggled on, but we don't want to have the title there. And we want to have the text changed to white as well and make it bold. Now, the next thing we need to do is to work on the columns. We need to have it formatted to match the theme of the dashboard. So we change this to gold and have the sum of returns changed to our usual green. And then we can go ahead and have it formatted like so. Now, let's talk about what this does. This chart tracks performance over time while showing the relationship between sales and returns. It helps spot seasonality, e.g. sales peaks in December, or identify months with unusual high returns rates. Answering the question, how consistent is our performance month on month? Now, moving on to the last chart on this page. I'll insert an area chart and have the field for month, year, and net sales selected. Again, let's quickly have this formatted to match the background of the dashboard. Starting with the background, I want to have that turned off. Have the title adjusted to show just net sales by month, year. Have the text color changed to white. Make it bold. Scroll all the way down to the y-axis. You want to have the text color changed to white and make it bold as well. Probably have the font size reduced. We don't want the title, so let's have that toggled off. Trying to create more space. Yeah, we've got enough space. We can do with some more space. Now let's scroll down to the y-axis. We'll have the values option expanded, have the text color changed to white, have the font size reduced, or we leave it as it is, but make it bold, have the title toggled off. I think we should have this reduced. So 8. And what else can we do? Let's see the lines or the shaded area. The shaded area, I'm going to have the color match with the line color, but the line color should be changed to something else. So let's have the color expanded. I would like to change it to gold. Yes. Transparency should be set to 0. And you can change the line style here. If it's dashed, it's going to look like that. If it's dotted, this is what you get. Again, scrolling down to the shaded area section, we can have the transparency increased, like so, or reduced, depending on what you want to achieve. If you have it set to 0, you're going to have this, but I want it a bit transparent, so I'm going to have it pushed all the way up to 60 or 40. I would also have this filtered so we don't have all the months showing. It's just to make things look a bit neater. So have the filter on the months here expanded, and let's go with the filtering type top hen. And let's say we want to do top 5. Top 5 of what? The top 5 of the net sales. So let's drag the net sales field into the well and apply filter. Drag that down a bit so it sits perfectly inside the space. Now, what's the purpose of this chart? This chart provides a clear, continuous view of sales over the entire period. Unfortunately, I lost the PBIX file I was working on for this tutorial. That means I wasn't able to finish the second page of the dashboard or had a proper title to the first page. But the good news is you already have the full concept. We've walked through how to structure the layout, connect the data, build the visuals, and style them into a professional looking dashboard. From here, you can simply apply the same steps to complete page 2 and polish page 1 with a title. Remember, the purpose of this tutorial wasn't just to show you one finished dashboard, but to give you the exact steps you need to take any large data sets and turn it into an insightful, interactive dashboard that management can use for decision making. So don't stop here. Go ahead, complete your dashboard, make it your own, and impress your team with the final product. If this tutorial helped you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with others who might find it useful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.